After witnessing the traumatic unaliving of both his parents in Crime Alley, Bruce Wayne's life would be changed forever, sending him from a path of luxury to a lifelong quest to rid his city of crime forever. His devotion and obsession earning him a new moniker, the Batman. But did you know that more than 2,500 years ago, some sheltered prince had a similar journey? Siddhartha Gautama was a Lumbini prince who was the VIP of royal sheltered living, who was already an adult with a child before he even experienced common issues of humanity. But for someone who was so sheltered, these events would be traumatic enough to cause a life change. So Siddhartha's trauma came in he saw 4 sights that traumatized him. The first thing was this withered old dude, right? So he's just weak, not lifting, bro can't bench, nothing. He's not mewing, nothing. And Siddhartha's like, bro, that's crazy that aging can do this to you. He had never seen an old person in his life. And there's a reason why he's never seen an old person. It's because his dad, he moves people out of the palace who's old or sick or anything just to stop Siddhartha from seeing any form of suffering. And the reason to that is a story for a whole other video. But yeah, that's why he's basically so sheltered in the first place. The next sight that he saw that traumatized him was a man who had a life-ending illness. Siddhartha lived his entire life having the craziest health. Bro was so healthy, bro was so strong. He lifts minimally and bro just gets crazy gains for no reason. He's just built different, right? So he's just blessed in so many ways that he doesn't even know that all this stuff could happen to other people. So seeing someone sick was just life-changing to him. The next thing he saw was something even worse. Bro just saw someone straight up not alive, bro. Just was okay, so people die? Because he didn't know people died either. Like I said, his dad just moves people out who's sick or anything, and then if people die, he'll just be oh yeah, that dude, he moved. He's gone. He moved upstate or something. But yeah, don't worry about him anymore. He's on that farm up in the sky or something like that, So he doesn't know any of this stuff is happening. The last thing he saw after all of this trauma was a traveling monk. And this traveling monk was just chill, man. And he was Siddhartha's looking around, he's seeing all of the crazy stuff that just traumatized him, and he's like, dude, how are you so chill, man? What's your secret? And the monk's like, well, man, I just meditate, lol. I ain't affected by this at all, man. I'm just a chill dude, for real. So Siddhartha goes, man, I need to become like that guy. I need to get chill. I need to be prepared, because if all this suffering is going to come from me and my family, I need to be in a good headspace. I need to be prepared. I need to make sure that we're ready. We're ready to take this on, right? So Siddhartha goes, I'm going to cut my hair off and I'm going to become a monk like him. So this is where his journey begins. So Siddhartha promises that he's going to become a chill dude too, right? He's going to be prepared for suffering, and he's going to use what he's learned to escape suffering from the monks to tell the entire world how to escape from suffering. So that's bro's ninja way, and that's the path he's on. Now similarly, we see Bruce Wayne, one of the top 1%ers, leave the estate. Bro's estate, not even just the mansion, the Wayne estate. Bro leaves the Wayne estate to train to rid the world of injustice. And also, this is a quest that changes Bruce Wayne forever. Now, even these 2 training montages are similar. So, Siddhartha's first teacher was Alara Kalama, right? Who taught him the sphere of nothingness meditation. Crazy name already. Right off the bat, this is his first training, and already he's on some next level stuff. And basically what this training does is it teaches you that the universe is basically empty and that we're all kind of connected. It's a very deep philosophical unity thing. You can Google it or search it and kind of learn about it. But it's basically telling you how to merge your consciousness with the universe. Now, Siddhartha was already just naturally talented at this stuff, and he mastered this technique in record-shattering time without any prior prep time. So Siddhartha was not only talented, but he's also an overachiever. So not only was he already good at it and he was mastering it fast, but every homework that his master would give him, he would go 2 steps beyond, 3 steps beyond. Like he needs to be doing, like, he wanted to be above and beyond. So it got to a point where even his teacher Alara was like, bro, I don't even have anything left to teach you, dude. You've exceeded me at this point. Just check this dude out. I don't know. He just gave him a reference because that was it. It's just like, man, you're here and you just kind of like things that I was taking years to master. You just did it in a couple minutes. Now, of course, Bruce Wayne was also very talented in his training, right? Now, his first masters, they vary throughout the series. Different runs and different series will have his masters being different, but his first training is generally usually something along the lines of meditation and learning how to let go of himself to endure pain, right? So he's learning all of this stuff from these meditation techniques and how to better himself and improve his body from Tibetan monks, by the way. And it's important for you guys to remember that, because this Tibetan monk thing is going to come up again and again when we talk about Batman, his skills and where he learns those skills. We'll get to that. So back to Siddhartha. His second teacher was Udaka Ramaputta, who taught him another transcendental meditation, the sphere of neither perception nor non-perception. And at this point, I'm thinking these guys they're playing with spheres. They're just playing with spheres all the time, and they're making this stuff up, right? So this technique seems to teach the user how to be able to perceive things without physically perceiving it. So I don't know a lot about this specific meditation technique, but from what I was able to gather, it seems like it's something along the lines of remote viewing or like astral travel kind of stuff. So this is also another highly advanced technique that he's been learning. So Siddhartha is just kind of mastering like these top level mystical techniques just right off the bat. Now, speaking of the bat, Bruce Wayne was also doing the same thing, exceeding his masters and learning ways to focus his mind on a task at hand, even doing meditative detective work so he can just keep doing his job for hours on end. So here's a little bit of an interesting deviation, because eventually Siddhartha would team up with these 5 aesthetic monks, or maybe 4 monks and 1 girl is probably a better way of putting it. But they end up doing these crazy aesthetic discipline things that just to prove that they're extremely disciplined. So I'm talking about like extreme fasting, extreme workout techniques, extreme everything, just kind of forcing their body and their minds to the very limit of what they could possibly do. And I think this is kind of interesting because this is kind of like Batman's Robins at this point. If you want to think of it like that, this is kind of like that. So of those monks and the girl, the most important person is probably the girl, Sujata, because if she didn't do what she does in this story next, I don't think he would have even gotten enlightenment. So there's a point where Siddhartha is doing his extreme fasting. He's on the verge of starvation, right? So he hasn't eaten in who knows, in weeks, like months, who knows. Dude is walking across this stream, and the stream is below the knee. It's very light stream. Even a little leaf is being casually going down the stream, and dude's fighting for his life. Bro is grabbing rocks, and he's grabbing onto like tree branches, and he's getting swept. I'm talking about bro is just getting worked over by the stream, bro. The stream is crazy to him. We are looking at it, and it's just like that's the calmest stream we've ever seen, and he's in another universe. He's screaming. He's like, bro, I gotta get across this river. So he gets across this river, like nearly drowns off this little stream. He looks back and he laughs. He's like, dude, I can't believe I almost drowned in that stream because I'm so weak from my starvation. Right? So Sujata, the girl, she comes over and she's like, Siddhartha, you need to eat. You're famished. You're on the verge of death. You gotta eat something. And he's like, you know what? You're right. If I can't even cross a stream that's that light, how am I going to resist suffering and stuff like that? So he eats. Now his monks, the ones that were training with him, they're pretty conservative in like how and traditional in how they want to go a lot about this path. So they see him eat, and he's eating, and they're like, dude, nah, you failed. That's it. You shouldn't have eaten. This is about discipline. This is about being on the verge of starvation. This is about extreme asceticism. And Siddhartha's like, I don't think that's the path, guys. I don't think that's going to work. And they're like, nah, we're done with you, man. We're going to go over here and find somebody else. You already failed the path. So Siddhartha is like heartbroken, right? All of his friends leave. He's alone again. He's wondering, like, is this the right path? What am I doing? Like, why can't I find this thing that I'm looking for? And eventually he goes over to a Bodhi tree, right? A Bodhi tree. And this is like it's kind of like a fig tree. And he sits there and he's just unsatisfied and betrayed, and he vows either he will find the peace he has set his journey out to find, or he's going to sit under this tree until he dies. Period. So this is where things truly get mystical, because as he's going into this meditation, there's this asura, right, or a demon, if you will, named Mara the tempter, aka Mara the hater, who was having none of that, right? Bro said, ain't no way you finding peace on my watch. Not today, not tomorrow. And he went out of his way to stop this, right? So Siddhartha is meditating under this tree, and they go through this crazy back and forth kind of mental discipline and mystical chess game for 49 days straight of just stuff Mara was trying to do to distract and to stop Siddhartha, and just Siddhartha using like all of these different techniques he learns from all of his meditation teachers and throughout the years of him training to try to just checkmate him. And eventually he does checkmate him, right? And at the end of this chess game of resilience, Siddhartha was no more, and he was born as the enlightened one, the Buddha. Similarly, we see Bruce Wayne doesn't really become Batman even after year one until Ra's al Ghul returns to Gotham and he beats him. And what's Ra's al Ghul's alias? The Demon's Head, bro. You can't make this stuff up, bro. He's the Mara the hater of Batman. And I mean, it seems pretty obvious the creators of Batman were heavily influenced by Buddhist culture, but I mean, Batman himself can't even go 10 seconds without bringing up his Tibetan monk training.
So how'd you figure out Batman was Bruce Wayne?
Read your mind. Something wrong?
No, it's cheating. Read my mind now.
What?
You heard me.
You're thinking of a dog you owned as a boy.
Location of the Batcave.
I distinctly saw
A mental image I conjured up to block my real thoughts. Trick I picked up from some Tibetan monks.
So you might think that that's where the similarities end, but in DC Comics issue 601, the Alan Grant run, there's a Tibetan monk who is literally manifesting tulpas, and I didn't even know about this stuff until I started researching these similarities to make this video. So these tulpas, they're psychic entities that are born from a monk's concentration, basically. And he's doing this Tibetan monk is doing this to rob Bruce Wayne so he could get enough money to pay off these gangsters who are threatening his family. But Bruce Wayne is Batman, right? So Batman catches these tulpas and they just melt in front of him because they're just manifestations. Eventually, the monk realizes, oh, he's dealing with Batman and he needs to manifest something better. So he manifests this Bodhisattva called Mahakala, right? And Mahakala is Bodhisattva. There's these entities who could be a Buddha, but they stopped themselves from becoming a Buddha so that they can fight evil in the human realm and stuff like that. And this Bodhisattva acknowledges that he's the same as Batman, that Batman is the same as he is. And this kind of gives us a new light, a new enlightenment, a new light to who Batman really is. And it seems like Bruce Wayne is someone who's on the verge of becoming a Buddha, but he's stopping it because he's too obsessed with this vendetta, right? So, and that's probably why he has these crazy feats where even as a human he's doing these supernatural feats, because bro is riding the edge. He's edging godhood, which is crazy to think of, but that seems to be like what this comic run was implying, that Bruce Wayne could have been a Buddha. The last thing I like about this stuff is that the lessons both align, man. Batman constantly stresses that anyone can be Batman if you just put on the mask and you just put in the work, regardless of gender or creed. And Buddha also heavily stressed the same thing, that there is nothing stopping the most lowly living person from attaining Buddhahood. He was very much against the caste system of Hinduism, and he just said anyone could do this, anyone could achieve this. So whether you're using a utility belt to beat manifestations of mental illness in Gotham's seedy underbelly, or using meditation techniques to defeat your own suffering and your own Mara hater, these two have a lot of lessons we can draw from. I also found it cute as hell, man, that the Bada Vista Batman is best friends with Superman, who we all know is a DC messiah. And look at this cute as hell anime, man. They got Buddha and Jesus going on these wholesome adventures and shit. It's cute as hell, man. You gotta say it's cute as hell. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think I'm tripping? Let me know in the comments.